for all of you to comprehend the lessons learned by the other municipal councils and the best practices you might like to adopt for better service delivery.
Now, this is a very important forum, in my view, to take stock of what you have achieved for your ratepayers and visitors in your first year in the office. This forum is also an opportune time for you to critically analyze your contribution to your respective municipal councils and reflect on the areas that needs improvements. I have been meeting SA chairs and SA team and also wrote to chairs of each municipal councils on many important issues during the year. In my last two forums and my one-to-one council meetings, I clearly stated that local government sector was ready for change and that together we must drive forward a substantial reform agenda. I'm emphasizing the word substantial. And we need to focus on continuous improvement of council's internal operations and external services so that our households and businesses, they can enjoy the best service that we deliver. Many of you have hit your stride and you are working tirelessly to improve your towns and cities, which I truly appreciate. Thank you for doing that. Local governments assist in building local economies, and we have seen that all around the globe during COVID-19. And even before that, most infrastructure that you see in towns and cities, whether it's market, whether it's car park, whether it's parks or recreational areas, it's all done by municipal councils. Municipal councils have also ventured out into commercial buildings and so forth. So they have been contributing a lot. But for bigger municipal councils, with large number of ratepayers, when we talk about global standard, most of our cities are very small. We don't fall into any big category where we can apply for donor funding at international level because we are too small. That's how we are categorized. But even though we are small, we are emulating some of the things that has taken place globally. And one such area is the development of our recreational parks and other facilities, which we are working tirelessly to improve such facilities. But I want to re-emphasize there is no other institution which can be as close as you are. All local governments, we are at the heart of our communities. We are providing essential and actually everyday service to our citizens. No other institutions do that. You also know that investing in council's performance delivers a substantial return for the community. We had set in place key performance indicators, and in the first year we asked you to focus on cost control, revenue management, customer service, organizational structure and staff development, and finally, local projects, including beautification. Today we will hear from each chair on the achievements and also their specific challenges. Chairs and special administrators, we must look at the way municipal councils are run. And in the first year of assessment, you are in a good position to share how it was run then and how you are making differences now. But in my view, to be effective and to do more for less, we must reorient ourselves. First, we must rethink and change the business as usual attitude. To deal with community expectation, it requires continuous self-reflection and evaluation. Focus on smarter investment in service delivery through shared services. And talking about shared services, we have got a good example of Nasinu and Suva working together in dealing with solid waste management issues in Nasinu. And why did we opt for a shared service? Because we know Suva does much better job as compared to Nasinu. So we worked on Suva's strength to deliver waste management service to Nasinu ratepayers. We must move away from this is how it was done. And I'm sure you must have heard that so many times from the council staff. This is how it was done. And you need to say, well, this is how it will be done now. We need to move away from the way things were done previously. This change requires, if you want to do things differently, it requires critical assessment of your organization structure, adopting innovation. And we have just done that. This year, I know most of you were busy with your team conducting the rate profiling exercise as well as vendor profiling exercise. At least we know who our clients are, whether it's in the market or we are referring to individual houses or business community. We know exactly who they are and where they are, which is very positive. That means you are interested in your clients. That's what it shows. And I also want to emphasize, to reorient ourselves, we need to engage with key stakeholders, and we have to change our business model. I want to share the example of Tavua here. Tavua community, particularly the business community, they always want to engage with the council. They have a lot to offer. And in fact, in one particular case where we were celebrating our Fiji 50th independence, they came forward, they assisted the council in all the preparation, and they hosted this event. See? And there was hardly any cost to the council. And that's what we need to do. Now, my second area where I want to focus on is digitization. And you will be hearing from Pranib in the afternoon about our plans for digitization. We must invest in digitization to improve our efficiency and to be better connected with our ratepayers, households, and our business community. With COVID-19, the new normal now is to access service through online. But we need to develop our facility, IT facility. And my third point, very important, is collaboration and partnerships. Now, municipal councils can no longer afford to work in isolation or individually. Just because I'm big, I should work on my own. Or I'm too small, I cannot work with bigger councils because I have nothing much to offer. We need to move away from that. Our strength is working together. That is our strength. Can you imagine all 13 municipal councils coming together in collaboration to share knowledge, to share services, and also to invest together for the IT infrastructure, invest together for equipments. You know, certain equipments are very expensive, but if we come together, we'll be able to afford that. And this is the trend that we see globally. There is no such thing as individual entities doing their own thing. It's better to collaborate. And I know on collaboration, we're looking at procurement services, how we can procure rubbish bins for all municipal councils, also the digital notice board, plus, if I can recall, there was one other area, which is the parking meters that we want to procure for various municipal councils. And my last point is put ratepayers first, because they are the reasons why we exist. And we need to be customer centric. We need to provide the service they deliver, they expect from us. Now, you may say that, you know, I mean, I've seen it. I was in Tavua yesterday. And for Tavua, it's such a small municipality with 257 ratepayers. The total collection of rates in a year is just $60,000. And there is no separate garbage fee. So all you get is $60,000. With $60,000, you are expected to pay your workers, you are expected to provide drain cleaning services, garbage collection services, because garbage is not a separate fee. It's all included in 60,000. Now, obviously, it's not possible. And each time you meet the stakeholders, they will be kindly requesting that if you can put a light somewhere, if you can build another toilet facility somewhere. But if you talk to the ratepayers, they will understand your financial situation. And that's what we need to do on a regular basis, so that they understand and they can assist us in running our councils better. Chairs and special administrators, I want to focus on why should local infrastructure be a major focus of municipal councils even during COVID-19 pandemic. There was some criticism when the announcement was made for Sukuna Park, right, that it's COVID-19 and this is perhaps not the right time. But I want to say this is the right time. We want to create employment. So firstly, a capital investment strategy provides the basis for building local prosperity. It creates jobs during the planning, design and construction stages, and also in the ongoing maintenance of the asset. Secondly, improved local infrastructure such as public parks and sporting grounds, municipal markets, car parks and sporting avenues improves local amenities and increases social and economic opportunities within our municipalities. It contributes to the local fabric and builds community well-being. As we manage our ongoing economic recovery, remember that your role is to also provide some stability for the local community. The need for you to increase stakeholder engagement and community consultation as you work on forward planning is absolutely essential. Particularly with COVID-19, because people will come to you and say that we cannot pay your rates. Some will be taking advantage because they never paid their rates for last 10 years. And they will use COVID-19 as an excuse not to pay their rates. But those ratepayers who are genuinely affected, they need our help, we should be able to come up with some plan for them. So that's why it's important for you to continuously engage with your stakeholders. I find this as a golden opportunity for me to raise or to share 3 experiences that I've noticed as I moved around in towns and cities. And I want to share it with you so that you can address these 3 issues. Very common practical problems that I've seen in towns and cities. And I'm sure you have done it, you've seen it too. Number 1 on my list is the slippery tiles being used by some shopkeepers, which is posing risk to pedestrians. Have you seen that? Right, so I suggest you need to talk to the shopkeepers and encourage them to remove it or replace it. The second one is lack of dedicated parking for people with disability. Can we also provide such service in our towns and cities? And the third one, which is becoming a nuisance not only in towns and cities, but also in informal settlements where you find derelict houses or half-built houses left abandoned in an area, obviously owned by somebody, but that somebody is not taking care of that house, which has now become a hub for illegal activities. I'm sure you may have come across this problem in your towns and cities. We had an issue in Samambula, and I had to bring it to the attention of the CEO of Suva City Council to address that particular issue. So in closing, I thank you all for your service. that you have delivered so far. And I also want to tell you that do remember, as leaders, you are influencing the performance of your organization and your communities, and that your influence is to be visionary, practical, and transparent. Vinaka, thank you very much. We will be talking more on different subject matter, and I look forward to listening to you and also having a nice discussion on different topics. So thank you very much, Vinaka.